Hey everybody, welcome to this special little collaboration video here between myself and Rob. I am Steve. I am from G Boats Collects. Uh, Go ahead, Rob. Let's tell people about yourself.
What's up, guys? I'm Rob, Lightning Collector 2021.
And New York Toy Fair was this past weekend, Rob, and Playmates finally gave us a lot of stuff to look at.
Very interesting because I'd done a video with another guy who's also from the UK, and he got to have a chance to take a look. He had to sign a NDA a couple of weeks ago, and he was able to have a look. And all he could really tell me is that it will definitely hit that nostalgia feel, and definitely think they've done that.
Yeah, it definitely does look like they did that. And so let's get into this. We are going to start, ladies and gentlemen, with the flip heads, the brand new flip heads here. Um, I've already released a full video on these, on my thoughts. I do have a couple things to add, but Rob, what are your initial thoughts on these?
Uh, It's a difficult one because I think, first of all, before we get too much into this video, we have to remember, everybody watching has to remember that this is made for kids. And a lot of people are going crazy on them. I'm not going to buy these look horrendous. They are made for kids, and we have to remember that.
Absolutely.
I don't know whether we're going to get anything too adult collectory, when they've turned around saying, oh, we're going to get this, and this, and they've shown this, and this, which obviously we'll go into a little bit later. But the items that they said, these are what we're going to get, which I think we all assumed that we were going to get as an adult collector. They don't seem to have aimed those items at the adult collector. But the flip heads, anyway, I think they look okay for what they are. We have to remember, again, kids toy price tag. So yeah, they look cheap because they're going to be cheap to buy.
Yeah,
Um,
they're gonna retail for I believe $9.99 US.
mhm, yeah.
So that's gonna be about 15 to 17 Canadian here. For those that don't know, I am in Canada and Rob is in the UK. So we don't usually deal with US pricing. Um, but I don't know what 9.99 uh is in pound.
Well, usually, when they do stuff like that, they'll usually say it's 9.99 US, but we still end up paying £9.99. So
Okay.
rather than them adjusting the price tag and saying, well, it's £7.99 or £7.50 or whatever for those in the UK, I don't know what a conversion is, but instead they'll just go, it's £9.99, it's 9.99 US dollars. So I'm expecting it to be around about the £9.99 anyway. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, for what you're getting a blaster, you're getting a sword, you're getting a flip head figure, which is going to be nearly, what is it, 5.5, 5 3/4 inch figure.
Yeah, and one thing that these are getting that the original flip heads and the Hasbro re-releases didn't get is the weapons are in color. They're not just
Hmm.
plain white like the original. So we're getting like, yes, they look cheap and whatever, but we're getting just a little bit more in color than we did back from Bandai and Hasbro back in the day.
I think the fact that they look cheap is because they are cheap. And again, we've got to remember that these are kids' toys. But
Yeah.
like you look at a Hasbro one, it's not too far off. There is like single joints on them, and so this is
Yeah.
the Hasbro re-release. Like G-Boat said, it's single color weapons. So again, same with the blaster, and the flip action's not too bad. I think I just did that off, but with these new ones, you can keep flipping. Sometimes these don't work out like that, and they end up doing this. So they're not great quality from the Hasbro ones, but yeah, I think they look okay. I think the articulation and stuff's on them's all right, and they're not
Yeah.
overly chunky.
Yeah, so this is an original Bandai one. This is my Bandai Black Ranger one. He does not flip
Mhm.
unless I flip his head over. He's been a little bit used, but yeah, the like I said, I had a couple issues that I didn't press in my video because I wasn't really paying attention, and I actually it wasn't until I watched a couple other videos from a couple other collectors But one thing I did point out, um, and sorry, I meant to show here, is if let's go back to here. If you look at the hinge on their arm, on like the elbow and stuff, it's at least a colored pin. Whereas in
Mm.
here you got the metal pins and stuff, right? But the one thing that I hadn't noticed before, and I think maybe it was because I was going off leaked pictures from the con before the official thing, is I don't like the waist hinge, the outside waist hinge.
Mm.
That is that looks weird. Like you can see it a lot better on the Blue Ranger there. Like
Yeah.
why the original ones have an inside hinge. I believe those Hasbro ones also do, where
Mm.
the hinge is on the inside. I don't know why Playmates needed to do this when the technology for an inside hinge has existed since 1993. Almost like 32 years we've had an inside hinge. So that's
Yeah, it's a bit weird.
those are my two biggest beefs. The other one is the just the men look like they have the same size as the Hasbro chests, and the girls look like they have the men's chests from the Bandai ones.
The women they look a very strange shape, don't
Yeah, yeah,
they?
they
It's like they're
are.
trying to mix the original with like a legacy figure and give it overly muscular body. But
Yeah,
they're I think a lot of people's problem is the fact that they are so chunky, and I think that they've kind of done that on purpose to try and keep the old school feel of it. Because I think, like, especially these days, you definitely could have fit that head into a smaller body. But I think it was more of a case, by the looks of it, of not wanting to.
yeah, agreed. And now it does look like we get a little bit of an ankle articulation here,
Hmm.
um, on Trini and stuff, which we never really got. It looks like we get a little bit of more wrist articulation as well. Um, so you get a little bit more, but like we say, they're cheap. They're going to be cheap. Um, and I think the only other thing I pointed out is I like that the Green Ranger's shield stays on.
Yeah. Wasn't the
Right?
idea of the original one that it was meant to pop off when
Yeah,
he
when you hit
morphed?
the thing, the shield just
Yeah.
pops off, and
Hmm.
that's how shields
Which,
got broken and lost.
yeah, and that never makes sense really, because you've got like your civilian head out, your Tommy head out, then
Yeah,
you're morphing him into a ranger, and suddenly he's got no shield, but he needs that shield when he's got his helmet on.
yeah. So I like
That's
this. This
cool.
is I do like that the shield just stays on.
Yeah, yeah, I like that.
All right, let's move on to some of the villains here, because they also have some action. Also have action here. Rita has some spell casting action. Um, Looks pretty cheap. Looks like it's just probably like a little hinge or a little like thing on the back. You just push down and her arm just goes
Yeah,
up and down. We got Goldar with some wing flapping action.
I like that idea, rather
I
than
do.
just an arm going up and down. That's quite cool. It's got the classic leg squeeze of giving it a little flap. Yeah, I quite like that.
Yeah, I like that. I also like the gold on this Goldar a lot better than the Lightning Collection's gold. The Lightning Collection Goldar
Hmm.
is a better figure, but I like the gold on this figure more.
Yeah, there was two Lightning Collection figures, weren't there? And one had a darker gold than the other, but they were both very bright. So that's
Yes.
cool. I like that.
Yeah, I like the darker gold on there. And yeah, the wing flap in action, nice. And then the last one that Power Rangers have put on their site, I don't get this at all. The head spinning action putty.
I guess you could think of it like when a ranger punches him, his head's gonna go round. But it's like typical classic kids TV show in it. But not that we ever saw that on Power Rangers. It's more like a cartoon, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I didn't understand that. And of course, here they are. And I believe we also got from Who is it? Nope, that's not the one. Oh, it's from Montyverse, or no, this is from Pre-Eternia that I saw. So we have also get Squat, Babu, and King Sphinx as
Hmm.
villains as well. Now, whether they have action as well, we clearly don't know that yet. Um, but I think the Squat and Babu look excellent. Um,
Yeah.
I'm not too big on this King Sphinx. Super 7 really did King Sphinx the best in the
I
last
just
couple
don't
of
get
years.
why every toy line is always going for King Sphinx. Like, go for something different. Like, I know he was like a very early on villain, if not like one of the first ones or whatever it was, but he's he's very overdone, and they definitely could have done a little bit something different. But a lot of people I'm always getting in my comments in on Instagram. I posted one of these pictures up and credited Multiverse for it. But a lot of people are saying that they're excited for Squat and Babu because they're the first kind of figure since the classics that you've seen that are in a decent scale. But a lot of people are asking, are these going to scale with the Lightning collection? And I think uh, Scott you could kind of get away with because he's a weird proportion anyway, isn't he? But
Yeah,
the Babu is, if anything, is probably meant to be a little bit taller than the rest because he was always quite lanky, wasn't he?
yeah,
So
he looks like in the picture to be about the same height as the King Sphinx.
So I'm hoping he will kind of get a little bit more height on him, and if these are 5 3/4 inch, then he'll go up kind of scale up to a 6, and then maybe you can get away with him being in your Lightning collection. But he's definitely not going to scale with those monsters in the Lightning collection for anybody that's wondering.
Yeah. And then there's kind of a mock-up. They also released just kind of a mock-up of what the packaging for the Evil Space Aliens line is going to look like. That's clearly just a little printout of Rita in there and stuff.
Yeah,
And the packaging is okay.
I quite like it. It gives me the feel of the Once and Always show,
You
feature
know
length
what?
or whatever it was.
Looking at it now, I can see that. I hadn't
Hmm.
thought about that before, but I can definitely see uh, that for sure.
Yeah, if they'd have just whacked like a 30 logo on it, probably would have done a little bit better than the reimagined. But
No, unfortunately, we're at 32 now in 2025. So,
yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
yeah. All right. And let's, before we get into some of the other stuff that Playmates hasn't officially announced here, but we have pictures of, let's get into their combinable Zord. Just before we get into that, they have also are releasing an electronic Megazord similar to the little remote control one that also came out at the same time with lights and sounds and stuff.
Yeah,
Um,
I've got that one. That one's
so
quite big, so if it's going to kind of go with that size, it is going to be big.
yeah. So here is the Mastodon Zord. You can tell we are both recording this at times, which I'm staying up late. Rob got up early, so we're just kind of, you guys bear with us. So here is the Mastodon Zord. I love the sticker application on these.
Hmm.
I thought they did a fantastic. The stickers on here look excellent. Um, and of course, you can see the power sword down at the bottom, which it looks like it comes painted and stuff too.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that. They don't tend to usually come painted when they're sort of cheaper
yeah,
figures, do they?
yeah. And then here we go. We have the pterodactyl, which comes with a shooting component, which is nice. And it looks like the pterodactyl also comes with the 5 little PVC rangers to make the price probably more worthwhile.
Yeah, I
Um,
like that.
I do believe before we go into the next one, I do believe they said these are going to be 16.99 US.
Yeah, because they when they sort of leaked it out, they were making out as though the Megazord was going to be 16.99. Everyone's going, "I'm going to pick this up, cheap Megazord. It's going to combine for 16.99," but it's actually individual packets like Hasbro did. So you're going to get the T-Rex in one, the Mastodon in another, and they're all going to be the same price.
Yeah, so it looks like to give you a little bit more because the pterodactyl is really small. They at least give you the 5 rangers in the little
Hmm.
PVC. thing, which is nice.
They look pretty
I
good painted as well, to be honest.
Yeah, they do look pretty good painted. But again, for me, like at least you will probably get these at 17 pounds each. These are going to be
Yeah.
about 20 to 25 bucks each for me
Hmm.
here in Canada. So it's going to be a little expensive for me, but I'm going to pay it. Here is the saber-toothed tiger. Again, with a shooting component from the tail. I want to talk about the tails in a second because the Triceratops has the same issue. I think that the saber-toothed tiger doesn't look like
Hmm.
the mouth opens or anything, but it again, the stickers on it look fantastic.
They do, yeah.
I like the yellow. It's a really nice yellow for the saber-toothed tiger there.
Hmm.
There's the Triceratops. Um, Again, another shooting component and stuff. Um, Love that. That looks really nice. And of course, we have the good old T Rex Zord, which, yeah, again, looks really good. Nice. Lots of stickers. The knee joints aren't as intrusive or looking really weird like the Hasbro one did.
Yeah, they look a bit shorter as well, don't they?
Yes, they do look a bit shorter. And then, of course, there is the Megazord um, all together. Um, Now, I do have beside me, I did actually just pull out my Hasbro Megazord. Um, because, yeah, it's pretty basic. You can
Hmm.
tell it's pretty basic. Um, like, obviously, Power Sword's not painted and whatever. But the only thing that I can tell that I like from this one that we obviously don't know from that one is it looks like this one has a little bit more articulation, and I
Yeah.
really liked the articulation on this one.
Yeah,
But
I do.
yeah, but like yeah, the red peg just kind of really
Hmm.
seems at a place there, whereas in if we go back one here, uh, that doesn't look so much out of place.
Yeah, I'd worry that I was going to fall out, but
Yeah, it looks like there's some pretty good indents here.
hmm.
So I really like that. I like that Megazord. And I mean, the only thing I really, if I look at this and go, meh, they could have done better with the gray here, the silver here across the chest of the bottom of the pterodactyl.
Hmm.
But other than that, like I said, stickers look fantastic. Looks like a good color. Um, I'm this is a for sure pickup for me.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely grab that. But it's
Definitely.
the only thing with things like that that kind of bug me a little bit is that Megazord that you just had. I bought that off of Amazon a little while ago. So I had one years ago when they first came out, and then I bought the Zord Ascension Project one, and I got rid of that due to space. But I missed having something that I can just play around with. And with that Hasbro one, I feel like I could just muck about with it and I could make videos with it or just play with it while I'm sitting here. And the Legacy one was the same because you don't get that feeling that if I pull this bit, it's going to break. The
Yeah.
Zord Ascension Project, I definitely get that feeling. So I never touch that because the T Rex tail is just so on there. But with when I picked that up, it was £50 £45 or something like that. It's brand new. It was sealed. It was so £50 for that Megazord was fine. That one, if they're coming out at £17, the Playmates one, and you're going to times that by five, you're talking about what nearly £100. But how much did
Yeah.
we pay for the Zord Ascension Project one? Like 120, something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. It was about 120 US.
Hmm. So if you're looking at the price, it's not that far off. And
No.
look at what you're getting on the Zord Ascension Project compared to what you're getting on Playmates
Yeah.
for an
So
extra like 20.
so next up here, it looks like these are going to be our 6-inch figures.
Hmm.
Um, I I re I really like the figure. They turned out a lot better than I thought they were going to be when they kept doing that like fading picture on the
Yeah.
thing. They turned out a lot better than I thought they were going to be. Um, um, see if we can get a better close up of the Black Ranger there. Um, they're not bad. They're going to be a basic figure. I don't know if we ever saw a price on these.
Did you watch Pixel Dan's video?
I did not.
So he had a walk around with the sales rep, and he told him the price of everything, as well as little bits of information about stuff. So that was quite interesting to watch. So if anybody wants to see that, it's Pixel Down on YouTube. He has got a video of a walk around at the Toy Fair. But I'm pretty sure these ones, they said that they were gonna, and I could be completely wrong here. This is just from like off the cuff memory, but I'm sure they said they were going to be the 5 3/4. So they potentially, don't hold me to this, but potentially going to be a little bit smaller than 6-inch.
Okay, so so here we go. This is the mock-up of the box for them. Looks like it's going to be very like obviously the art's different, but very close to size of the original Lightning Collection boxes.
Yeah. I
Which
hope
will,
these are 6-inch, because if they start doing a few more villains or a few more seasons in that size, then that might be our chance to finish off things like Turbo, and I don't think they're going to be too far off.
yeah, I can already hear the internet in my ear without them even saying. Everybody's going to complain that there's no black on the bottom of their boots.
That bugs me every time.
I don't look at the bottom of the boots enough
Oh, I do.
to see. Um, what I thought a couple people had morphers up, but I can't find them right now. So let's just move on quickly because I know we're both in a time crunch here. Um, so this is going to be the Dragon Dagger and the Blade Blaster. Um, this was I had heard a Blade Blaster was coming, but the Dragon Dagger was a nice surprise.
It was, and I will tell you something about the Dragon Dagger, that it does come with a coin. It is coming out later, but it will also work in the Morpher for the Green Ranger.
Excellent. That's what it, the Blade Blaster does do all three forms. It does have a little button where a thing pops out. I did see that on someone's thing. The blade like just pops out.
Yeah, so that's a
Um,
slide out. So when
yeah,
you turn it into gun mode and you slide it back and forward, it just kind of slides out rather than flicks out like the old ones, which is okay for me. I've been after a Blade Blaster for a while, but if it's 90s, it needs to be in the right condition. And if it's Legacy, it needs to be at the right price, unfortunately. So to be able to grab a Blade Blaster, I'm excited for this. This is a definite pickup for me.
yeah, 100%. This is definitely a pickup for me. Like I said, I don't have any pics. I couldn't find them of the Morpher, but I did find my problem with the Morpher is it looked a little too boxy.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Very
It
square.
looked,
It looks quite
yeah,
neat, doesn't it?
yeah, like this is the original 93 one,
Hmm.
but like it doesn't look that boxy.
No, it's very close to the Lightning one, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to show the fine folks what the Blade Blaster and the Dragon Dagger look like. Here they are. Here's the coin down
Hmm.
there. There's the Dragon Dagger and the Blade Blaster, and it looks really really nice.
It does look nice.
Yeah,
I like that.
the Blade Blaster looks very detailed. Nice Power Rangers on the side.
Hmm.
This gives us a little hope that we might because Lightning Collection only didn't give us the Power Axe and the Power Bow.
Hmm.
So hopefully we can get those for people that like the cosplay weapons.
I hope so, but the only downside is it kind of gets rid of my hope of being able to actually put it all together without
Yes.
sellotape.
Yes, I understand that is sort of thing. All right. This was the big surprise that we were talking about earlier. So obviously there's going to be little collectible Zords that you can see here. And more PVC Rangers and villains here. So we're going to get a PVC Green Ranger and, of course, King Sphinx, Squat Babu, Goldar, Putty, Rita. Um, We're getting a new line of plushies,
Yeah, I
which
like those.
I have the Funko plushies. I have a full set of Funko plushies. Um,
So
so
they
they,
look similar to this one as well. This isn't the Funko one. This was
yeah,
just like a random Power Ranger one, but they look very similar, but obviously smaller than what they've
yeah.
given already.
And then those eagle-eyed folks that are looking in the back of that one will notice the original Bandai 8-inch figures. I need them all.
I want those, and I had an interesting conversation. Again, this video I did with another guy from the UK. I think it was last week or the week before. But we had a talk similar to this. He couldn't say too much, but he could say some. And he was kind of like, "What's your thoughts? What do you think we're getting?" I said, "I would love to see them redo these 8-inch." And he kind of threw me off of it. And I don't know whether he didn't know at the time, and these wasn't there perhaps before, and these are kind of a newer thing that they're showing at the New York convention. But I don't think he knew about those, but I could be wrong. But they
And
look really cool, and they
they
look
do,
so to the original.
and they do, because they have like just the plain white weapons. The
Mhm.
weapons aren't colored. The belts look perfect.
The head
Um,
shape is the same too, so they
yeah,
had very narrow heads, didn't they? And
yeah,
rather than round, and they look the
yeah.
same.
Do I have one? I don't have one behind me. Or I might, but he's buried and half my shelf will come down if I move him.
Hmm.
But yeah, absolutely. These are a must grab.
Yeah, I'm still missing. So I've been picking these up as I've been collecting over the last couple of years, but I've bought about 4 or 5 pink Rangers, and I ended up buying like 3 Black Rangers because they were just not in the condition that I want. So if I can use these as a stand-in for that, that would be cool.
Yeah, I would agree. They just look oh, sorry. Look, we found the morpher. So
Hey,
yeah. So yeah, it looks boxy
it does, yeah.
and the gold on the coins looks okay.
Again, I think this is going to be one of those moments where you're going to have to accept this is a kid's item.
Yeah.
And I don't know why they're kind of aiming, like maybe they're just trying to bring it back for kids, trying to bring them into it because a lot of this stuff, again, aimed at kids is like, are they going to be picking this up from Netflix to go, I want to buy this?
Yeah. And that's a valid question. It also looks big. Like it looks
Hmm.
bulky. It looks really big. And then, of course, here we also have on the left masks. These are clearly not helmets. You can see all the way through them on a couple of them. These are definitely just masks. Um,
Yeah, see, this is part of what makes me think that we're not going to get helmets because the way that they were selling the dream to people like us, I guess, was we're going to be doing weapons, we're going to be doing cosplay items, which to me would suggest a helmet. We're going to be doing kids' toys, this, and this. I think the weapons that they're giving that are those. I think the helmets that they're giving or that they've suggested when they first took it over are the masks. And I think that the kids' toys that we're seeing are the kids' toys that we're seeing. And considering some of this stuff isn't due out until 2026, I just don't think we're going to get much. I think we might get some White Ranger stuff and a Dragon's Ord. Um, like I think later on we will get a White Ranger mask, we'll get a Dragon's Ord, we'll get some, like White Ranger plushie to go with this set and stuff like that. But I just don't think we're going to see what we want to see, as in finishing off the black and the yellow helmet and getting like a Rita staff or something like that. I just don't think we're going to see it.
yeah. And then last here we have the battle bikes.
Hmm.
Um, the blue and the black not coming with sidecars is kind of stupid, um, because they came with sidecars back in the day.
Hmm. They did, yeah.
So I don't like that they don't come with sidecars unless they are going to release the sidecars on the side, or we're going to get a yellow and a pink bike.
Possibly, yeah.
So, but yeah, that is pretty much everything. I don't think there was anything else. But that is the new Playmates uh, or preview of the new Playmate stuff coming out. I believe later, like fall this year, we're getting the initial flip heads,
Mhm.
I think, and then stuff. While we wrap up here because it is getting to be late for me and very early for you. What are some of your final thoughts here on these lines, Rob?
I think just as I said, I think that the masks are the helmets, and we're not going to get anything more for adult collector. Maybe some figures, but I just can't imagine them expanding over MMPR because, like, I know everyone sits and goes, "Oh, more MMPR," and I would love to see some in space, but everyone has to admit MMPR is what sells that brand, isn't it? Like, it's the core of the money for everything. You don't release any MMPR, you're not going to suck people into the line. And I think anything past that is potentially not going to sell. And I think we've seen that with the Lightning collection. But it all
And
looks good.
and,
It's
and
for me, I am happy to accept that they're giving us kids' toys at kids' prices, which I quite like.
yeah, the prices are definitely awesome. Absolutely love it. Nice, inexpensive. Um, for like a toy line like this. My worry goes back to what you were saying about will it actually sell? And the worry is if it doesn't sell, Playmates is going to move on,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah,
Just like Hasbro has pretty much stopped making toys, from my understanding, pretty much at this point, with the exception of Black Series and G.I. Joe Classified and whatever
yeah,
popular board games they make. But like I know it's geared towards kids, but if the collectors like us don't buy it, this is all gone, and half of this stuff coming out in 2026 won't ever be released.
yeah. I would. Playmates do a lot. They do like you only got to look at their Ninja Turtle stuff, and they do bits for kids. They do bits for adult collectors, like they're doing crossovers and two packs and figures that are a little bit more aimed at people like us. So they don't just do kids stuff. So I am kind of holding out hope that we may get something that's similar to the Lightning collection, but this is not to, at least so far, to replace the Lightning collection. It's not a continuation. It's nothing. Like, if that's what people are expecting, forget it, because I just don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I would agree. The Lightning Collection is done. It's gone.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, the one hope I have, and I've had this hope for a little while, I was kind of hoping Hasbro did it when they released the Lightning Collection line, is maybe now that the Power Rangers and the Ninja Turtles are made by the same toy company, that we don't maybe get another line of the Power Ranger Turtles, but we get a line of the Ninja Street Outfit Rangers.
Hmm.
I
See, I'm
ab-
pretty sure that I'd heard somewhere, whether it was in a video or on a post or something, or um, and it could well have been the video I was watching on YouTube the other day, but I'm pretty sure they said they was not going to cross over with Ninja Turtles.
well, that's disappointing.
I'm not saying that's 100% true. This is again just off of my 4 o'clock in the morning memory, but from what I remember, that wasn't going to happen, and I don't know whether that's something to do with Boom Studios or something like that. I have no idea.
Yeah. So, um, but ladies and gentlemen, that is everything that we got to see from the New York Toy Fair. Um, so I'm happy. I'm probably going to pick up most of this.
Hmm.
There's a lot of that I'm going to pick up. I think if I had to pick one thing I'd pass on, it would be the Morpher, just because it looks big and bulky and boxy, and just
Yeah.
really not impressed by it. Um, is there anything in the line you wouldn't grab?
To be honest, I don't like the villains, and I know a lot of people are probably going to boo me for that, but um, I just think they're too small. They don't really do anything for me. I like the old school. like actions with the buttons and stuff, because we got that with the villains in the 90s. Like, all the villains had different things, like Lord Zed had his light up, whatever it was. So I think the only way I'd pick them up is if we saw more of them. So I would want to complete them. To be honest, I'd probably pick them up and just put them in a box and put them away. And it's the same with the masks. I'm not going to do anything with them. They'll look cool hanging on the wall, but I really don't have wall space for anything like that. So again, probably
I
just
see
buy
some
them.
just above your head there. Perfect
That
for the mask.
is that is already taken for a big pile I have on the floor down here of loads of 90s stuff. So
Yeah, I got a big pile that I need some new shelves that are going to be going that way
yeah,
when
I
they get
think
it.
this is what I was saving for Playmates.
Well, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is very late for me. It is very early from Rob. Let us know what you thought about all the things we showed you tonight. So if you were watching this on Rob's channel, throw them in his comments. If you're watching it on mine, go ahead, throw them in my comments. I'll be reading Rob's comments to see what everybody says, and I'm sure Rob will be checking out mine. If
Okay.
you are looking to follow me, ladies and gentlemen, you can follow me at Gboats Collects on Instagram and TikTok, and I am at Gboats Collect on Twitter. Rob, where can the people find you at?
Pretty much everywhere. So if you're going on Instagram, it's Lightning Collector 2021, and it's the same for everywhere. Um, Threads and Blue, whatever it is, and all that sort of stuff. Find me on Facebook at Lightning Collectibles, or on Twitter or X. You can find me at Lightning C 2021.
Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, have a great day. And as I always say at the end of my videos, may the power protect you. And Rob, go ahead and close off with your signature buy because we all love it.